Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Haxenhunt. Today's video, we are going to be shooting the two top bows for 2024. We have a Mathews Lift 33 up against a Hoyt Alpha X 33. So super pumped about shooting these two bows head to head. A lot of people are talking about the Lift, talking about the Alpha X, and choosing which one is better for them. Right off the bat, I can tell you the Lift is quite a bit lighter than the Alpha X. Both killer bows. Super pumped to shoot these things, put them head to head, and see which bow shoots and performs better. So if you want to hear my thoughts on these two bows and which one I think might be performing a little bit better, go ahead and stay tuned. All right, first up to bat, we are going to be shooting the Hoyt Alpha X 33. Very, very well balanced. Just for the sake of the test, we are going to take this stubby stabilizer off because I do get a lot of comments saying it's not fair I'm shooting the Hoyt with a stabilizer on it. Even though it comes stock out of the box with it like that, I'm going to pull it off just to make you guys happy there at home. So again, balance of that. Very solid platform balance. Grip feels pretty solid. Finish on the bow, I feel like there's some like, not sharp edges, but like kind of more rigidy, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Set up at 30-inch draw, 70-pound limbs. Yeah, let's just draw this thing back. Overall, I mean, sweet looking bow. A lot of good cutouts on that riser to take out any weight that they possibly could. Let's draw this thing back. Consistent pull. Uh-oh, I'm feeling something. All right. I've noticed right here on the riser, right here on the grip, that little step there, that is new. That is not on the VTM, Venom, anything previous models, and it feels like the Mathews. I feel it hitting my knuckle. So I got to get used to that because that is definitely new. Very smooth draw though. Extremely solid back wall. Settles very tight actually. This one's actually perfectly sighted and I just smoked that bullseye. That was sweet. Okay. Very quiet. Dead in the hand. No jump. Like every bow should be these days, right? I feel like I was shooting whole new rights. It just looks so much different with these cutouts. Like it just, whole new riser, whole new cam system. The ability to change your let off from 75% all the way to 85% is key. I personally would probably run it at 75%, maybe 80 at the max. I don't think I'd go high as 85, even though it is more comfortable if you're holding for long periods of time. Reason B is when you have a little bit more pressure in between both arms, it's going to cause you to hold more steady versus like lightly holding it. And then you got this arm fighting the weight of the bow itself and stuff like that. But then also changing your draw length in 1/4-inch increments. That has been needed very badly. I'm personally like a 29.25-inch draw. So I opt down to the 29-inch draw typically. So with this bow, I would 100% set up at 29.25. Smooth draw, very just solid platform actually. Smoked that one too. Gosh, it settles like as soon as I come to full draw, it is like settled. Again, I get a lot of questions. I am shooting a new release. A lot of you might notice. It is the Scott Archery Apex Core thumb button release. It's pretty, I need to do a review on this because I honestly really like this release. Very solid draw. Gosh, literally like XXX right there. It was perfect. That was 30 right there. Vegas. 30X. Let's do that again. Very stable platform. I should take the camera down there and show you guys, because those are literally 4 perfect shots. Overall first impressions of shooting that, super quiet, super dead in the hand. Draw cycle is very, very smooth. Only thing I'm not absolutely loving is the finish on it. It's pretty rough, like sandy almost. I like, but I feel like the grip just doesn't, like, around the grip, there's a couple like points that you can feel that aren't like super comfortable. I don't know. That's just me being nitpicky. But anyway, let's now shoot the Lift 33. Again, I feel that same. Actually, you know what? This one, it's not as bad as it's been years previous. As you can see, that little tiny cutout, that is new. That has not been there. And that right there is for your thumb knuckle. Look at that. Fits me perfect. Did Mathews hear me? Did you hear me complain about that? Because that is a huge difference. Anyway, the balance of that is perfect. Same thing. It is definitely a lighter bow as a bare bow. Let's shoot this thing though. I feel like it's an easier draw. Similar back wall, it's very solid. It doesn't settle. I don't feel like I'm settling quite as good as I was with that Alpha X. I feel like it might be a little more floaty. Like, I feel like when I'm aiming at the target, it kind of rises to the top of where I'm going and just kind of stays there. And that, I think, is going to be due to it being a lighter bow. So with the right stabilizer setup, you're going to get rid of that. Very consistent though. I mean, like, it's not a bad float. Like, if I'm just shooting this bow, it's not floating at all. But shooting it up against that Alpha X, it is floating compared to that, if that makes sense. Smoother draw though, I will say. Easier pull. Very consistent. Same thing with all 3 of those arrows. They both have their pros and their cons. Like, I feel like more smooth draw, easier to hold on target, feels like more consistent when you're at full draw. It just feels more solid. But I think, honestly, I think the deal breaker is going to be speed. We're gonna shoot these through the chronograph real quick with my 6 different hunting arrow setups from 400 grain all the way to 520 grain and see what speeds we're getting with a hunting arrow setup. So we're gonna pull these arrows real quick. We're gonna shoot them through the chrono and let you guys see the speeds. And then I'm gonna pick which bow I'd rather go home with. All right, came over to the chronograph. We are gonna be shooting the Mathews Lift 33 first to see the speeds we are getting. First up, again, 30-inch draw, 70-pound limbs with a 400 grain arrow. Let's see the speeds. .295, so pretty solid speed. Not mind-blowing, but not bad. 420 grain arrow. Right there at 290, so fairly solid, staying in the 290s with those 2 grain arrows. Here's a 440 grain arrow. .285, so not only dropping 5 feet. It's not bad at all. That's staying pretty consistent. Here's a 480 grain. So if it stays consistent, we'll drop to 275 probably. 270, so dropped a little bit more than I was anticipating, but still, I mean, 270 with a 480 grain arrow at 70 pounds, 30 inches, it's not terrible. It could be better, but it's not terrible. All right, 500 grain arrow. .265. With the 500 grain arrow, I like to have my setup shoot at least 275. So 10 feet second faster than that. Now 520 grain arrow at 262. So a little bit slower. All right, so that lift 33 was, what was it, 262 to 295. So not terrible speeds. I am curious to see what this Alpha X33 is going to be getting though. See if it is any faster. First up is going to be our 400 grain arrow, same setup, 30-inch draw, 70-pound limbs. So let's go ahead and shoot this and see speeds it was getting. That Mathews was getting 295. The Hoyt is getting 303. So 8 feet a second faster. It's actually a decent difference with the performance on speed on that. So here's a 420 grain arrow now. 420 is at 299. Still faster than what that Mathews was shooting even the lighter arrow at. Here's a 440 grain arrow. .295. So that regular hunting setup I was talking about, what was it, is it 275 with that Mathews and it's 295? If I'm remembering that right. Pretty solid. Here's a 480 grain arrow. Right there at 279. Here is my personal hunting arrow setup, the Easton Axis long range. It's the 500 grain Easton Axis long range arrow. We are shooting 274. So that 500 grain Easton, like I said, that sweet spot that I look for is like 275. Right there, 274, so perfect. Here is the 520 grain arrow. There, 270. So honestly, those speeds coming out of Alpha X is quite a bit faster than that Lift 33. Let's do a quick 3-arrow group with both of these, see which one I feel like stays more consistent, even though I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. I feel like this one might be feeling more consistent on target. So let's put those two head to head once again and see which one I feel like is shooting a little bit better. Okay, first up with a 3-arrow group is gonna be the Mathews Lift. Let's see how consistently it kind of holds on target. Again, I feel like it floats a little bit. That draw cycle is, I want to say, like a smoother feeling, easier pull, more like consistently the weight through the entire thing versus like one hard pull point. But I do feel like it again, like I said earlier, it doesn't float when you're just shooting against itself, but shooting against that Alpha X definitely floats a little bit. Still solid shooting bow, feels good in the hand. It's dead quiet. I can hear my release more than I can the bow itself. Shoot this Alpha X real quick, 3-arrow group as well, and just kind of see how it settles compared to that Lift. Here we go. I feel like there's, compared to that Lift, there is literal zero float. I just feel the balance and tension of where you're at full draw is a lot more comfortable and more consistent. I think my decision's made. I want to give that lift. Literally just way more consistent feeling. I feel like it stabilizes on target right when I need it to, very quickly, compared to that lift 33. I think without a doubt I would go with the Alpha X 33 over the lift 33. One, it's quite a bit quicker. Two, it holds on target a lot more steady, and it just feels more consistent in the hand. I do like the smoother finish on the riser, a little bit more on that Mathews lift. I mean, they're both great shooting bows. I'd recommend going into your nearest dealer, shooting both of these head to head, and see if you can put 20, 30, 40 arrows in each of them to kind of decide which one shoots best for you. This is all my personal opinion, which one shoots best for me. I try to get the information out to you guys as best as possible. Big thanks to Humphreys Archery here in American Fork, Utah, letting me come on in, shoot the bows, get the info out to you guys. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, really appreciate it. And if you want to help support the channel a little bit more, go to haxenhunt.com, purchase any merch there. If you do buy a hat right now, I do have a giveaway going on. Buy a hat, win a bow. I'm giving away my personal Mathews V3 to one of you guys. So only 250 entries on that. If you want to get entered in, again, go to my website, haxenhunt.com, purchase a hat, and you could be the winner of that bow. That's it for today, guys. Really appreciate the support. We'll catch you guys next time.